students, in its previous part we have studied about permanent tissue, that was protective like epidermis and cork, supportive, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Now we have to study today about conducting permanent tissue. We have also studied, that is, there are two types of tissues: simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue, where parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, they consist of only one type of cells. But complex type of permanent tissue consists of more than one type of cells. So today we have to study the conducting permanent tissue. Now it consists of two parts, that is xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem, as the name suggests here, conducting, that is they are meant for transport of materials. So they are having tubular passage, tubular structure. Now they are involved in the transportation, hence they also form vascular tissue. Further, we see that xylem and phloem together make vascular bundle. Now, so students, now we are going to start with the xylem. Xylem is consisting of long tubular cells. Now they are performing the function of transport of water and minerals absorbed by the root from the soil to the cells in the upper parts of the plant. So xylem and phloem, that is, they consist of tubular cells. Now they provide passage for the upward movement of water and minerals absorbed from the soil by the root. So we see that the root absorbs water and minerals from the soil, and then through this tubular passage it is transported up to the upper part of the plant like leaves, where they will be used for different life processes. Like water will be used mainly in the process of photosynthesis, as well as it will help in, or it will provide medium of transport of materials. Now the xylem consists of four components. Now we see here, that is, the components of xylem are tracheids, vessels, xylem vessels, also called trachea, the vessels or trachea. Now xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. So these are the four components in xylem. One more thing, that except xylem fibers, they are the living cells. All components all components other than xylem parenchyma are dead cells. So only xylem parenchyma part in it is the living cell and others are of the dead cells. Now, if you'll see here, that is the first one is tracheids. Now they are long tubular cells having large cavity without any content. Means they are almost empty cells, they are dead cells. Now they are dead cells, any content. There they have thick wall or highly lignified thick walls. Now we see here, that is, it is lignified, means its wall is coated with or having the layer of lignin which makes it hard. So it is hard layer, hard cells. Now further, tracheids, they provides mechanical support and also help in transport of materials. Now tracheids develop due to different types of thickening. Tracheids develop different types of structures. Like you see in tracheids, sometimes like if it has this type of cells and these are pores, that is also known as pits. These are pits, and through these pits the transport of materials take place. Sometimes it develops this type of pits also. Now sometimes we further see, that is, it may have this type of pits. In some cases it may have this type ring-like structures. Sometimes it has ring-like structures, or sometimes it has a spiral, this type of structure. So in this case it is mainly providing mechanical support. So these are the different shapes of the tracheids depending upon the thickening of their walls. Now the next structure in it is the vessels, that is the xylem vessel, or we can write directly vessel, also called trachea. Now they are long tubular cells, and their horizontal wall is dissolved. Horizontal walls are dissolved, providing continuity for the transportation. Like you see, suppose if there is a tubular cell and it has horizontal wall like this, suppose it is like this, then if it is dissolved, it will have continuous passage. So its horizontal walls are dissolved and provide continuity for the transport of material. Now they are hard and having thick walls, having thick lignified walls. And as it is a tube, so it helps in transport, means it provides passage for water and minerals in upward direction. Now there is a third structure, that is the xylem parenchyma. And as we have studied in earlier topic, supportive permanent tissue, that parenchyma is the living cell. It has thin wall, comparatively thin wall, small intercellular spaces. So, and they are meant for storage of food. So, xylem parenchyma is the cell associated with tracheids and vessels, and they store starch and sugar uh, starch and sugar. They also help in passage of materials. So as it is parenchyma, which is the only living cell, a living component in the xylem vessel, so it stores starch and sugar. Now the next component is xylem fiber, and this is fiber, so it will be made up of sclerenchyma, that is made of sclerenchyma. As a result, it provides mechanical support. Now, so these were the four types of components in xylem, which is mainly involved in the transport of water minerals absorbed by the root from the soil. Now, the second component is the phloem. Now, this is the part of vascular bundle that mainly, that is, it transports. The special word for transport of food material by the phloem is used as translocation. It transports food prepared in the leaves in downward direction, as well as in upward direction to the new growing leaves. So the function of phloem is mainly to transport food prepared in the leaf to different parts of the plant, even for utilization by the cells for their growth, development, repair, replacement, as well as the surplus of it is stored in the various parts of the plant. Now, it consists of it consists of components. Again you see, that is, it again has 4 components. And what are these components? These are sieve cells, or sieve tube, uh, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Now, except phloem fiber, this time all the 3 components are living cells. That is, all components except phloem fiber are living cells. So in xylem we have seen that only xylem parenchyma was living and others were dead, but this time phloem fiber is the dead cell only and all the other components of phloem are living cells. Now, if we will study here, that is, here suppose there is the, now we make pores in section like this. Here is the cells. Suppose there is the another components and there may be cells like this. Now we see here, that is, this is the sieve tube, and this is the horizontal plate in which the pores are made, so it behaves like a sieve. This is called sieve plate. Now this is companion cell, and this outer one is phloem parenchyma. So now we see, that is, these are the different components present and phloem fiber will be along its walls that will provide mechanical support. So actually this is the sieve tube, and again here a question is asked, in plant cells sieve tube does not contain nucleus. Sieve tube is without nucleus. So this is an important question, without nucleus. In xylem there were dead cells, so there was no chance of the living matter. Here they are the living cells, but this component, tubular passage, does not contain nucleus. So the question is asked like this. Clear, student? So these were the different conducting tissues, and we have studied here, that is, the xylem and phloem together make vascular bundle. Now if we'll summarize all these things, then here we see plant tissue. It can be divided into 2 parts, that is, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. As we have seen, that is, cells are dividing, and in this component we have studied that there were 3 types of meristematic tissues, that is, apical, intercalary and lateral. So their components are apical, intercalary and lateral meristems. Now permanent tissue is of 3 types. First is protective permanent tissue was epidermis and cork. Supportive. Supportive were of three types, and they were parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma. Now then again we see here, that is next one was conducting, that is it was conducting, and it is of two types. Now you see, that is the xylem and phloem. So this is the summary of the plant tissue to be studied. So students, we have completed the description of the plant tissue. Now then we will start with the animal tissue. Clear student?